Here's an example of a fourth that is not perfect, or you could also think of it as a fifth that's not perfect, but the way I have it written is a fourth. From C natural to F sharp, that is a half step bigger than a perfect fourth. So in this example, we have an augmented fourth, which we call a tritone. Now, I could have also written this out with C naturals and G flats, in which case we would call this a diminished fifth. But right now, what we're visually looking at is augmented fourths. Either way, whether it's an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth, it's going to sound the same, and that's why we just kind of give it the name of a tritone. Remember, it's 3 whole steps. That's why it's called tritone. Melodically and harmonically, it sounds like this. Kind of a very jarring sound. Those notes don't really get along all that well. It's because the wavelengths, the amount of waves in a second really clash with each other in a tritone. A tritone is not super common to start melodies. We're not used to hearing them a ton, especially to start melodies. But if you are familiar with West Side Story, the song Maria actually does start with a tritone ascending. And it sounds kind of like that. Now, down here, this looks super complex because actually it basically is. An example of a song that starts with a descending tritone, which is even rarer than an ascending tritone, is this example. Many of you may not be familiar with this. This is called YYZ, as you can see here. It's by the Canadian rock band Rush, and this is an example of. This is the opening rhythm that they have in the song YYZ, which is all tritones. From G down to C sharp, that's a tritone, and then C sharp up to G, also a tritone. So all this is just tritones up and down. That's how it starts. That melody repeats over itself a lot, and it's a little slower than that. If you have a few minutes, go ahead and look up YYZ by Rush, and it's a really cool song. It's all instrumental. There's no there's no singing in it, and it really shows off the musical skill of that band.